and we are ready to go here
We're going off trail.
on Off Trail with Luke and Chandler. I'm Luke,
I'm Chandler.
and we are off trail. And today, we're actually kind of talking about going off trail a little bit.
A little bit.
Today we are going to talk about something that came up when we were down in Capitol Reef a couple weekends ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this idea of when you're out and about driving around in a place like that, and you see this road going off around a little hill or what have you, and you can't help but ask yourself, I wonder where that goes.
Where does that road go?
It's like the age-old adventurer's question.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wonder where that leads.
Yeah.
It's like that voice in your head you just have to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to talk about this idea because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
You could be out anywhere. We have a couple good examples we can talk about, but it's like, answering that question in your head, be like, I'm going to go see.
Yeah.
Is maybe one of the best things you can ever do.
Yep.
Even if it doesn't lead to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But like you have no idea what's out there.
Yep.
And if you when we were at Capitol Reef, we're like, oh, I wonder where that goes. And we tried a road, right? And then it's like, it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was so cool.
It's so cool.
And it's like you can either, find nothing, or you can be immensely rewarded with something that you never would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always worth it.
Yep.
Just to try it. And again, maybe it doesn't pan out, but it's something that like you should get in the habit of just giving into that little feeling.
Yeah.
And
a little scratch.
Yeah, and going for it. Like I said, Capitol Reef is a good example. We tried this road that realistically wasn't really a road.
Yeah.
And my gosh, that was one of the best roads I feel like I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Like
it was same. Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's one of my favorite roads down there. Like one of my favorite trails to go on.
And it's just like, the whole time it's like, you're looking around like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
how did we end up here?
Yeah. And it's like it produces like such a strong memory.
Yeah.
That like it's gonna be hard to let go of. Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna remember that for a long time.
Yeah. And
again, it doesn't always work like that. But when it does, whew, that's something to chase.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess actually another time I can think about it is like when we were down in Telluride last year. Like, there's a couple things there. It's like, ooh, I wonder where that goes.
Yeah.
And we had our own little plan, and the road we did was epic.
Yeah.
Like that was sweet.
It's so cool.
And it's like, it just leads to moments that you'll never forget.
Yep.
And you come back with such a cool story.
Yeah,
that you can tell other people.
Yeah. This is this whole concept of, where does that road go? Where does this trail go? It's kind of what Bushwhackers was kind of founded on. Like that's kind of the idea that it was founded on. When we first started, when I first started it, it was just like hiking. That's all we were doing, just going out and documenting hikes that we were going on. But those hikes that we were going on were all like, oh, like there's a trail that goes up here, but then I bet we can go over there. Looks like there might be a road. Where does that lead? Or a trail to walk, and not to drive necessarily, but so like we've always kind of had that, there's countless times in my life over the last few years where it's, we're out driving around and stuff, and we're like, maybe we should go check that out. I don't know what's down there, but we can go find out. And sometimes it always doesn't work out. There's been a couple times where we'll find a little trail and be like, let's go see where this goes. We can only go so far. And before we get to a point where it's like, I don't know that we should go any further. Like, we might be fine. Yeah. But just in case, I don't know that we're as equipped as we could be.
Yeah, I think that's an important point because, with the adventurer's spirit, you're going to run into situations that start to get a little hairy. Yeah. But that's the price of trying to go find cool things. Yep. But it's important to know what is safe enough to try and what is not. Yeah, exactly. Especially like with us, with our vehicles, like, those are our daily drivers. Yeah. Like I need to take my truck to work. Yeah. Like
same, yeah.
So I got to be safe and smart about this. Yeah. I can't just go running off a cliff, tip it over. Like I'm going to need it on Monday. Yep. Yep. And so like you got to be smart about it. If it looks too muddy, if there's too big of a ledge, anything like that, like you got to know when to turn it around. Yep. And a good example of this, is I took a group down to southern Utah last year. Scott Osborne and Will Mars were on that trip. And we were trying to get to this really cool place. And the route that I had gone before, I knew it could be a little sketchy, and we tried it, and sure enough, it was. Like it was bad, muddy, soft, and we get to a point where we're trying to go up a hill and this ledge, like, I probably could have done it in my truck because it's bigger, lifted, all that stuff. But I'm not sure I would have wanted to try to take Scott's Subaru back there.
Yeah.
And Will at the time had his 4Runner, which I don't think was lifted.
No.
And it's like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it'd be amazing to get to the spot, but it's not worth it losing a vehicle.
Yeah.
And now having to scramble for help, trying to rescue, like with my truck, get another guy out. Like, it's just not worth it.
Yep, exactly.
And so you have to be smart about that, because something like that, if we try to push on and power through that situation and you get stuck, well, then that ruins your whole weekend.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, it really does.
It puts you in a really bad spot. So you got to be really careful about doing all that. But, on a good dry day, middle of the day, especially if you got cell service still. Sometimes you don't, but if you do, it's like, hey, go for it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we have so many places in mind, especially down in southern Utah and down by Arizona, and so like there's so many places that we'll find little routes on Google Maps, or we'll see them in person. We'll just be like, what's out there? And maybe one thing that's maybe good to do if you do see a road, check it out on Google Maps. See if it actually
Google Earth, yeah.
Google Earth, yeah. Check it out. Kind of scope it. You can't get like a totally accurate view of what the trail looks like.
You're not gonna know road conditions.
You're not gonna know conditions or anything like that, but you can get a pretty decent idea of where it goes.
Yeah. So, like, do people realize how much time we've spent on Google Maps and Google Earth?
Bro, we are Google Earth wizards.
Like, just trying to follow roads. Like, zoomed in and be like, okay, scroll. Just following this road around to see, like, where it connects to.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you got to do if you want to find some of these cool places.
Yeah.
And, and sometimes, like I can think of a couple places where, there actually is not like a defined road, but you can see like track marks.
Yeah.
Like you can see the ruts, and you're like, oh, I wonder where these guys went. And you just follow that.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, maybe I could get there.
That actually happened one time too. Who was I with? I was with Kalen. We were down in southern Utah, and I was like, I know there's a spot back in these little hills somewhere. I just don't know exactly how to get there. And we were taking this little road that kind of led in that direction, and it turned into a riverbed. And we ended up I was like, well, there's some tracks in the riverbed. Maybe we'll just follow the tracks. We ended up following these tracks for like 5 miles in this riverbed. Ended up in the, it's just middle of nowhere. Like, I don't know where we were. And it was super cool. Never been back there. No trails, no roads. Just followed some guy's tracks in a riverbed. It was one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah. And like that's the point of, trying to answer the question, be like, I'm going to see where this road goes. Just you have no idea what you're going to find.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially if you can go do it with other people, because that just enhances the experience.
Yeah.
Because half the time you go follow this road, it's just going to be you.
Yeah.
And whoever you're with at the time. Like, there ain't going to be no one else out there.
Yeah, nope.
Unless you find more people like us.
Yep.
Maybe that's how we'll meet.
Maybe.
But, it's always good to take other people too, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
Like, it would be terrible to be stuck out somewhere on your own.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can do to try to pull your car out by yourself.
Yeah.
So you may as well have a buddy with you. Buddy system applies here too.
Yep.
So, but it's always like, it's just something that you should go do. We have trails up in the Wasatch too that like we found for the first time. It's like, oh, let's go see where that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, you get out to a pretty cool vista.
Yep.
You
just never know what you're gonna find.
Yeah, and like it doesn't have to be like the highest point in the mountain.
No.
Like just see where the trail goes. Take it.
Yep.
Take the turn.
Go off trail.
Yeah, go off trail, just like this podcast. Yeah, it's something like, if you really want to like see cool things and I don't know if building a reputation is necessarily the right thing to strive for in this sense, but like if you really want to live up to the whole adventurer type of, reputation, you got to do stuff like this.
Yep.
Like you can't just take the easy way out all the time.
Yeah, no.
You know, go hike some crazy trail. Like when I went to Haleakala, good example. I, obviously looked at the map to see where this trail was, and it was 12 miles long.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea what was truly in store for me. And I just started off in the morning. I was like, we're doing it.
12 miles.
12 miles.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go see this.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember you texted me. You're like, dude, I just hiked 12 miles through a volcano field. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was one of like the best days of my life.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, this is awesome being out here. There's like hardly anyone there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had no idea what was in store for me.
I was mostly surprised about, like, Luke has he's fit enough to hike 12 miles?
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, have more than like 3/4 of it was basically downhill. So
Yeah.
a little easier. But like, like I didn't think twice about it. Like I'm on vacation basically.
Yeah.
And it's like 12 miles hike. I don't know really what this is going to be like. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like a little naive maybe, but it's like, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And again, sure enough, it's one of the best hikes I've ever done.
That's such a cool feeling too when you find a place like that where it's like, I got to hike. This hike is going to be 12 miles. We'll just use that as an example, And you're like, but this place is so cool. I don't care. I hike for 30, just, and there's a feeling that you get there. I don't really know how to describe it, but it just keeps you going. It's almost like a runner's high.
Yeah.
Because I used to do a lot of running and stuff, and you'd get to a point. There was a lot of times actually where I would get to a point where I had hit like a 10-mile mark. And I was like, oh yeah, I can keep on going.
Feeling it.
Yeah, feeling it. You kind of get that when you're hiking too. So, or anything you're doing,
Yeah. It's
driving out. And
it's just like that spirit energizes you.
Yeah.
And it's like looking forward to the future, the unknown.
Yeah.
Like, and wanting to go explore. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like that's what Bushwhackers is kind of centered around. And again, a lot of the stuff like, I know personally I would like to do this year is kind of around that idea. It's like, I want to go see a couple things, people don't go do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I'm stoked for those ideas.
Yeah.
Like more so than I am for the things that we can go and just drive to, get out the car, take a couple photos, and call it a day.
Yeah, I want to have an experience.
Yeah, like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And it'd be fun to see if you guys, can do some of that yourself and see what you guys have to say about this idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And, if you have some of those experiences in the past, why don't you let us know in the comments?
Yeah.
Like, we'd love to hear your story, It'd be fun to not just share our own things, but, like, hear from you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, by all means, leave a comment about what you guys have done that have been centered around this idea of, asking yourself, I wonder where that road goes.
Yeah.
Or trail, whatever,
Or if you have a road in mind that you want to go see, let us know. If you want a buddy, let us know.
We'd be happy to go. Because it's what we do.
And there's a chance we may have done it. So.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a good life.
It is. Yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, leave a comment for us. Also, why don't you go ahead and give this video a like on YouTube?
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button, and obviously subscribe. That's the biggest thing you guys can do for us. Helps keep us going. And if you're listening to this on audio only in a podcast, we're on all major podcasting platforms. So be sure to follow us there as well.
Yeah.
So
check it out.
Make sure you guys go check out some of these roads.
Yeah.
Because I know everyone's had that thought.
Everybody has to have had that.
Everyone's had it.
Yeah.
And again, maybe you don't have the car to do it. If you have a little Honda Civic like Hero, maybe don't do it. Hero does. That's easy, crazy, but but be smart out there, but be adventurous at the same time.
Yeah.
You won't regret it.
Yep. Push yourself a little bit.
Yep. So, all right. See you, everyone.
Bye.